Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've won between the New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the New York Giants. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, it's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their starting quarterback since his arrival back in 2011. It's Cam Newton.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
They go play action here on first down. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10. So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. And incomplete to open things up.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Flacco once more. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And over the middle, it's LaFell. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do you do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let...
And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Connor Barwin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
We got 3. We can set. 180.
3rd and long. It's Newton. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the 1st quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal.
They'll hold them to 3. Fourth down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. On first down, Flacco. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dontari Poe with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. This Carolina D was 3rd in the NFL in sacks last year.
And sometimes that surprises people when they hear that, because who's the dominant pass rusher that you think of putting up double-digit sacks? They do it collectively as a unit and get to the quarterback.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Passing play. Flacco. Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. And quickly the starting 11 now for the New York defense.
Coming off a Pro Bowl in 2017 is Landon Collins, who was an All-Pro 2 years ago and got many votes for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. This is a guy that we know is what we call box safety, almost like an extra linebacker in his ability to tackle and hit. But his coverage ability as a safety has improved since he's been in the league, and his ball hawking is getting better each and every year.
Newton now to throw. And an alley to run. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
comes the Giants offense back out. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Giorgio Tavecchio for the field goal try. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after. That forces them to settle for 3, and it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now it's Barner. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone now. making their way back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. 1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
2nd down, Flacco now. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Captain Munnerlyn, the one who made the stop. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They start the drive with Anderson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
You got 4. You got 4. Set. Blockade it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 3-3 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. A shotgun snap for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
They fake the give. Newton. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. Throwing again is Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Thomas Davis in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Flacco here on second down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Giants on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Flacco. And that is incomplete.
Well, touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Riley Dixon now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be fielded at the 17. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. On 1st and 10, Newton. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Again, Anderson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Set.
10th carry now for Anderson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Flacco. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First and 10 here for Flacco. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A first down carry for Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Flacco from the gun. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Julius Peppers able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And he slings one that's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
3 down.
He may try and run for this. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. After the run, Newton going to throw. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. John Jenkins getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
On second down, here's Newton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Flacco off play action. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there just before halftime. 59 yards. Flacco looks to throw. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Beckham in the final seconds of the first half. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will get him. He needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We start with a very good matchup at Heinz Field. Pittsburgh playing host to visiting Atlanta. And it's the Falcons who are out in front in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Robbie Anderson up near 100 yards receiving with a touchdown as well. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. His guys have the lead as we send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, here's Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Cam, option left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And an alley to run. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action here on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I
And he's going to bull his way in for a Panther score. C.J. Anderson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now Newton will bring the Panthers up to go for 2. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's caught. Left side, Brandon LaFell. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Third down, Flacco from the gun. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
So from 2nd and 10, it'll now go to 2nd and 15. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. 2nd down, Flacco now. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Dontari Poe in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
The Giants on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
False start, offense.
Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring...
What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
On 2nd down, Anderson. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Newton. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13.
A handoff to Barkley. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is fielded at the 7. Time for us to spotlight C.J. Anderson. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game starts to open up as the game moves on.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They give it to Anderson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Yeah, and he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Now Anderson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. But guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Giants on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To pass, Flacco. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He's going to have the 1st down past the 20. Fighting ahead at the 15. A huge play there on the screen pass. 78 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
Now he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Flacco here on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. A big play looming for the Giants as they'll go for 2. Here's Flacco. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very pivotal two-point try that does not go their way now. It's a big uphill battle for the rest of the fourth quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
To Vecchio now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's Newton. Smith catches left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
And New York set to take the field. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Caught left side. It's Beckham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Throwing here on first down. Flacco. He finds his target, Beckham. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Here's a give to Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it again with Anderson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Come on now.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs.
Set with 80.
Now Newton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And taken right at the 35. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Tavecchio puts this one through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. Well, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got a 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Clock now under 30, ticks and running. Now it's Newton. Caught left side by Funchess. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Third down now. It's C.J. Anderson. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Newton to throw. And they got the hook up. This is Olsen. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Newton will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a first down throw for Newton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Sterling Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Holding, offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now Saquon Barkley gets past one man, and he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run. He wasn't able to really get anything going in regulation. Maybe it'll be a little different story here in overtime.
And it appears that with that call, they want to establish the run in overtime, try and set the tone for what they're going to get done. And you're right, maybe it didn't work so well in regulation. Overtime could be the charm. And by the way, yards count either way.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle to Smith. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now a run with Anderson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd and long, it's Newton. Now they set up the screen, that's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And now out come the Giants. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Here's Flacco. It's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Flacco. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. taken at about the 16. Shifts by him at the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though. And he loses the football the second time. And who's got it? The Giants. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the tackle, it's Captain Munnerlyn. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. And he stopped immediately there. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Flacco. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. So it all rests now on the left foot of Giorgio Tavecchio. And he got it. The kick is good split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Giants, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles.